כמוכם, גם אני ורעייתי הזדעזענו לשמוע על הניסיון החוזר לרצוח את הנשיא טראמפ ואת רעייתו. אנחנו שמחנו שניהם יחד עם בכירי הממשל האמריקני, יצאו ללא נגע. אין מקום לאלימות, לא נגד מנהיגים פוליטיים ולא נגד אף אחד. וזה כולל לא רק את ארצות הברית, זה כולל קודם כל את מדינת ישראל בתוכנו. אני הזדעזעתי מהרצח המתועב בפתח תקווה, בפיצריה בפתח תקווה. לוקחים ילד חמד, ימנו בנימין זלקה, וגודעים את חייו. אחרי זה הסתה פרועה. אני חושב שהדבר הזה, אנחנו לא יכולים לקבל את זה, אנחנו חייבים לעצור את זה ולגדוע את זה שזה קטן. אני מתכוון לשבת עם שר החינוך ועם שר הבל"מ מיד אחרי הישיבה, ולראות מה אנחנו עושים אל מול בתי הספר שלנו, אל מול האכיפה שלנו. צריך למצות את הדין עם הרוצחים, וצריך להנחיל גם בבתי הספר, גם בכיתות הלימוד וגם בבתים, מורים והורים, להנחיל שזה דבר נפשע, להוקיע את זה בכל לשון של הוקעה. זה דבר שצריך להנחות אותנו כל הזמן. לגבי לבנון, מתקבל הרושם שכאילו צה"ל לא פועל שם. הוא פועל, והוא פועל בעוצמה. וצריך להבין שההפרות של חיזבאללה למעשה מפוררות את הפסקת האש. ולכן מבחינתנו מה שמחייב אותנו זה ביטחון ישראל, ביטחון חיילינו, ביטחון יישובינו. ואנחנו פועלים באופן נמרץ לפי כללים שסיכמנו עם ארצות הברית וגם אגב עם לבנון. וזה אומר חופש פעולה, לא רק להגיב להתקפות, זה ברור, אלא לסכל איומים מיידיים ולסכל גם איומים מתהווים. בשבועיים האחרונים, לפי פיקוד צפון, אנחנו חיסלנו 46 מחבלים, ואנחנו נפעל ביד חזקה ובזרוע נטויה. משום שאנחנו לא מוכנים לקבל את ההתפרעות הזאת, נעשה מה שצריך כדי להחזיר את הביטחון לצפון. אני מביא היום לישיבת הממשלה מינויים מעולים. ציפי חוטובלי, ראש מערך ההסברה הלאומי. ציפי מוכרת לכם, היא הייתה חברת כנסת, היא הייתה שרה, שגרירה, באמת מאוד יוזמת ומצטיינת בבריטניה, והיא תיקח על עצמה את המשימה החשובה הזאת, בתיאום כמובן בעבודה עם משרד החוץ. יש לנו עבודה משולבת חשובה מאוד בהסברה ברמה העולמית. דורון כהן ייכנס כנציב שירות המדינה. דורון הוא עתיר ניסיון, היה מנכ"ל משרד האוצר, ראש רשות החברות, יושב ראש סלקום, הוא משלב גם את המגזר הפרטי וגם את המגזר הציבורי, ואנחנו צריכים להביא את הסטנדרטים של המגזר העסקי לתוך המגזר הציבורי.
Well, thank you very much. That was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now, put out on Truth and put out on many of the platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement. First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President JD Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California. And he's a sick person, a very sick person. And we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondents.
It looked like he checked it twice.
Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this there?
Here he comes up.
Obviously. Shall I post it as soon as he passed down that?
18, go for
Yeah, that's the handler, so 40 just went by. It looked like he checked it twice.
Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this there?
Here he comes up.
Obviously. Shall I post it as soon as he passed down that?
18, go for
And he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now, put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump.
Please welcome the Vice President of the United States, JD Vance.
They are fighting with each other. There's tremendous infighting. They're probably fighting for leadership. In many cases, I think they're fighting not to be the leader because we knocked out 2 levels of leaders. But I'll deal with whoever we have to. But there's no reason to wait 2 days, have people traveling for 16, 17 hours.
On Iran, as you're figuring out who is in charge, if the hardliners or IRGC-aligned leaders have greater power in Iran, can the U.S. make a deal with those factors?
Whoever's running the show.
Are we indicating that those
Deal with whoever runs the show. They don't know. They are fighting with each other. There's tremendous infighting. They're probably fighting for leadership. In many cases, I think they're fighting not to be the leader because we knocked out 2 levels of leaders. But I'll deal with whoever we have to. But there's no reason to wait 2 days, have people traveling for 16, 17 hours. And we're not doing it that way. We'll do it when they want. They can call me. We have all the cards. We've won everything. We have all the cards.
Yesterday you said to Reuters that we're dealing with who is in charge now. What changed from yesterday to today?
Nothing. It's just that they gave us a paper that should have been better. And interestingly, immediately when I canceled it, within 10 minutes we got a new paper that was much better.
What was on that paper, sir?
We talked about they will not have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. Look, that whole deal is not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. We want to beat China at the industry. We're leading with crypto. We're leading with AI. And I really feel I have an obligation from this. As a president, I have to be able to make sure that all of our industries do well. Crypto is a big industry. It's become somewhat mainstream. The banks have it. People have it. And I think as the leader of the country, we want to lead in AI. And we're leading China by a lot in AI. And we're also leading in crypto.